Characters I hate in One Piece. Now I'm going through One Piece, and let me first say, I really enjoy the show. It might sound at points like I don't, but I do, I swear, okay? It's just, these are characters in particular that I hate. Also, for context, I'm in Enies Lobby right now, so every character I choose will be from Enies Lobby and back. And I know people who watch my other videos are like, he's gonna talk about the pigeon, isn't he? Why would I talk about the pigeon? I said One Piece characters, and we all know the pigeon is not a real character. So to get into the first character, I gotta go to the Skypiea arc. And no, it's not that crazy witch lady at the front who I said is arguably the worst person in the Skypiea arc. It's not her. I do hate her, don't get me wrong. It's not Eneru. In fact, I probably like Eneru a little too much, and I know his name is also Enel. I like the guy. Sure, he's a tyrant and he did a bunch of horrible stuff, but regardless, he's also really cool. And he looks awesome when doing his attacks, so like, you know, nobody's perfect. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to defend the guy or anything. It's just nobody's perfect. Doesn't even matter though. It's not him, but he does employ this individual. So who the flip is it? This person arguably is the character I hate the most in One Piece. It is this freak right here, Satoru. I can't stand this dude. In fact, it's personal for me because you might think like he's a little annoying. But for me, every time I see this dude, I get PTSD. Because when going through Skypiea, this is easily the section of One Piece I hated the most. It took me months to get through like a few episodes because I hated on this dude so much. He was annoying. And every time I would think of like, do I want to watch another episode? I'd be like, it's that guy. So I kept putting it off and off and off. Because this is after the crew is split up. You have Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp. They're heading into Upper Yard to get the rest of their crew and also to fight God. So I'm like, okay, this should be pretty fun, right? Like that's a goated trio if ever I saw them. Also, you have Luffy driving this boat, so it's like, oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. It was not fun because they come across these 4 entrances to God's 4 priests, and they technically choose correctly because they get the weakest priest. They choose the ball ordeal, which again is kind of sus, but I don't even really need to get into that right now. But they choose the ball ordeal, and they're going through, and I swear, I had high expectations, and then this dude shows up. Like, what are you? Like, seriously, what are you? Anyway, it doesn't even matter. Because sure, I definitely hate on him for the way he looks, and he's really annoying, which also makes me hate on him even more because he has this stupid laugh where he's like, ha, ha, ha! But the worst part about him is not only how annoying he is, but how long he's on the screen. Because he starts fighting these 3, and he is owning them episode after episode, and it is just horrifying to watch. Like, what are you doing to my boys? And he keeps mocking them like, ha, ha, ha. And then he has his surprise balls, and he's like, hey, do you want to see my balls? Nobody wants to see your balls. Just get off the screen. And finally though, after episodes and episodes and months of me just like procrastinating through these episodes, Luffy finally gets a hold of this guy. And I'm like, okay, this better be glorious. It is, because like this happens. Wait. One more time. Who's laughing now? I'm sorry. I do have a bit of a problem. But yes, I couldn't stand him. Arguably the character I hate the most to this day, but I feel like I've spent too much time on him. So moving on to the next character. It's also a character you may not expect because he's also in the Skypiea arc and he just irritates me. So it's this dude right here. I think his name is Pagaya or something like that. Doesn't matter. I just call him Konus's father, and you might be like, wait, why the flip do you hate on that dude? Well, I get it. He has a friendly exterior. He comes across as just a nice, friendly guy. But here's the thing, though. I see within his wicked soul, and let me explain. Because this dude right here sits on a throne of lies. Well, first off, I should mention, I do tend to be a little distrusting of people without eyes or a mouth, so I'm just saying it doesn't help. But the thing is, it's like, okay, he's fairly fine until this one moment comes up. And it's kind of an epic moment because you have this dude right here, his daughter Konus, they're listening to one of Eneru's escaped prisoners basically telling them Eneru's evil plan. And it's like, whoa, yeah, no, that's kind of messed up. But speaking of Eneru, he's like, oh, so some people have chosen death. And he winds up a spectacular attack. Speaking of that attack, like, just look at the form on this. Like, come on. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone can look this cool. Like, just the way he raises his arm, magnificent. Not to mention the attack, just beautiful. It was just a beautiful attack overall. Like, sure, some people got destroyed, but like, just look at it. Anyway, because Conus' father realizes like, oh, it's the end for us. He pushes his daughter to safety before the attack happens. And then this attack just goes boom. Kind of an awesome attack, not gonna lie. But also a beautiful moment, like his last thought was, I'm gonna save my daughter. Beautiful, beautiful. Right up to the point where a few episodes later, this liar turns up. And it's like, wait, how are you alive? And he's just like, I don't know, man. I got flung into the surrounding area. And then when I came to, I don't know, I just came here. You sit on a throne of lies, buddy. First of all, like, you got flung into the surrounding area. Sure. That same surrounding area that also got destroyed. I know this dude is lying to me, still to this day. Now you might just be like, no, that's just One Piece fake out deaths. And sure, that's another reason to hate on him. But I swear, he's lying. Maybe he's actually God or something like that. I don't know, but that dude is lying. And I hate on him because it's like, you should not have survived that. You're lying to me. But enough about him. Let me move on to a character that everyone probably hates on. Bellamy the hyena. If you don't hate on him, I'd be curious to know why. Because again, if the Lion King taught you one thing, it's to hate on hyenas. Like, if you're going to be called a hyena, how are we not supposed to hate on you? And I know some animal experts sued the Lion King because they thought it gave hyenas a bad name. But this dude also gives hyenas a bad name. Did One Piece or Oda get sued for that? I don't know, maybe. But either way, you know someone named after a hyena is going to be annoying. And boy, you know this dude is annoying. He's got an annoying laugh. He's got an annoying personality. He's also got really annoying friends, which by extension make him even more annoying. But it doesn't even matter right now. Because the worst part about him is he's delusional. That's the worst part about him. Because he has a little bit of strength and then he thinks he's like some big hotshot. Like, he can just push people around, and if our crew comes in and they have a few dreams, he's like, well, I have to crush their dreams, right? And Luffy and Zoro just let him beat them up, which again, like, I know it's technically the right thing, but like, come on. This dude is delusional. You just let him live in that delusion where it's like, I hate you for having dreams. Like, that is a dumb reason to hate people. And you know, Luffy or Zoro could handle this dude easily. In fact, when he walks into the bar, there are easily 3 characters in that very scene stronger than this dude because Blackbeard was also there. But again, he would be less annoying to me if he was stronger because he didn't technically do like the worst things. Sure, he beat up some people, then he went and beat up Cricket and stole, you know, some of his gold, but like, a lot of characters in One Piece have done way worse. But again, the thing that irritates me is how delusional he is because you aren't even that strong. It would be one thing if you were stronger. He's not. Like, if you're going to talk that much smack and then get one shot, I find you even more annoying for that because you couldn't even survive one punch. Just one. Like, this dude got one shot. That makes him even more annoying and more hateable in my mind because it's like, oh, you really were delusional. It's like, oh, I'm going to beat people up for their dreams. Like, why? So in addition to being annoying, he's also one of the dumbest characters, so I hate on him even more. But now moving on to another character who I also hate on because he is extremely annoying and has almost no redeemable qualities, it is Wapol from Drum Island. Now again, I feel like this is a pretty obvious one, so I won't spend too much time explaining why I hate him. But again, like, he has almost no redeemable qualities. He's a bad leader, he's a coward, he's annoying, he's sick in the head, like everything about him. Our crew first meets him, and this dude is like, yeah, I'm just gonna start eating your ship. Why? Like, I know you technically have a devil fruit where you can eat anything, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. Anyway, it doesn't even matter though, because again, with this dude, a big part of the reason I hate him is because he's such a weak villain. Like, yes, he's annoying, he's got an annoying laugh, his devil fruit is kind of weird and annoying, but really it's the fact that he too was defeated so easily by Luffy, which again makes him even more annoying because if you're going to be all those things I just described and not even that strong, I'm gonna hate on you even more. But moving on, the last few characters I'll talk about who I truly can't stand are in the most recent arc that I'm going through right now, Enies Lobby. Now I am going to start off with a character who I assume basically everyone hates on, so I won't even spend that much time explaining why I hate on him so much because the reasons should be obvious, and that is Spanda. Now I know his name is actually Spandam. He doesn't deserve that. Spanda. Now to be fair, the more I watch of this dude, the more he climbs up that list of most hateable characters. Because again, with every single episode, he does something irredeemable. How do you keep finding irredeemable things to do? Like, I would have thought that you had found them all. Because the very first time you see him is in Franky's backstory, and he gets one of the most legendary characters, in my opinion, killed in Tom. Like, Tom, legend. I could go on a whole video just explaining why Tom is such a legend. This dude got him killed, then he also kind of turned Franky into a cyborg. But to be fair, that might actually be a positive, so just ignore that. Ignore that from the record, because it doesn't help my case. But again, he doesn't really have any redeemable qualities. He's annoying, he's evil, and the worst part is he's a coward, and he only beats up on characters who can't fight back, and he hides behind his government position. Like with Robin, she's in handcuffs, and the amount of times I've seen him just beat up Robin, it's like, come on, like how many times are you going to do it? And then in the most recent episode I watched, I swear, this genuinely pissed me off because he's pulling Robin by her hair up these stairs and he's yelling all sorts of insults at her. Actually, he's not even yelling all sorts of insults. He's really just calling her dumb because he's like a 4-year-old mentally and he only knows like, you're dumb, 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 dumb. Like literally, if you watch the scene, he only has one insult. And then because he's calling her dumb so much, he starts coughing and then he blames it on her. Like, why would you make me cough? Like, buddy, calm down. Something is seriously wrong with you. But again, the list of stuff just goes on and I can't cover it all. Not to mention, he's related to his father, who was the guy who did what he did to Robin's Island, so that doesn't help. But that's not even necessarily his fault, but if I can use it against him, I will. But then, arguably the biggest reason to hate on him is because he's an idiot, because he orders a buster call by accident. That's the worst part. Like, if you're going to do something bad, at least be intentional about it. He does it by accident, and then he's like, well, I'm not going to call it off because then people will think I'm an idiot. Like, buddy, anyone who's met you already thinks you're an idiot. But anyway, I've talked about Spanda way too much. He should be obvious. But also looking at CP9, I want to talk about a couple of members, and it's probably not the most obvious ones. Like, people are probably expecting, who haven't seen my videos, are like, oh, he probably hates on Rob Lucci. Why would I hate on Rob Gucci? Like, how could you hate on someone like this? Rob Gucci is a legend. Khalifa is kind of funny. Kaku, okay. Some of the other members, okay. But Chaapa, this freak right here, I hate him. Now, I know his name isn't actually Chaapa. Doesn't matter. I will only call him Chaapa. But like, I look at him and I'm like, who did this to you? What kind of sicko did this to you? Like, seriously. But there are so many reasons I hate on this dude. For one, the fact that he's always like, Chaapa. Like, the first few times I was like, okay, that's a little weird. After that, it only annoyed me more and more. But I think the thing that annoys me the most is how sensitive he is about the most random stuff. Like when he's fighting Franky, and then Franky might punch him and he's like, how dare you? You are enemies. You're supposed to be fighting each other. And then Franky will say some words to him and he's like, how dare you? It's like, buddy, what is wrong with you? Why are you so sensitive about the most random stuff? Oh, you locked my friend in a fridge. How dare you? Oh, you're taking a tea break. How dare you? Shut the flip up, Chaapa. Anyway, there are so many reasons to hate on Chaapa. It was pretty glorious to see Franky absolutely destroy this dude. I mean, Franky finally got him to stop saying Chaapa. But moving on to another member of CP9, it's this Kumadori guy. I'm not even confident I'm saying his name properly because I never use his name. I just call him that weird guy or something like that. But the thing about him is he's just so annoying because he'll be like, yo, yo, and then he'll spend an eternity to say what he has to. Like, that might be the worst part, or that he thinks he's spiritually enlightened or something like that. So he'll be like, I will give you a peaceful death. And his version of a peaceful death is, I'm strangling you, and while I'm strangling you, I will stab you to death. That's my version of peaceful. I think the reasons I hate on that dude should be pretty self-explanatory, but really, what Chopper did to him, what Monster Chopper did to him, elevated Chopper in my mind because, well, one, it was pretty cool. But when Franky climbs up after destroying that Chaapa freak, and then you just come up and you see this. That's pretty cool. And then if that's not good enough, the way Chopper just tosses him so disrespectfully, I'm here for the disrespect. But those are just some of the characters I can't stand in One Piece, but I haven't even gotten into some of the characters where I hate on them for really no good reason. Like, I barely even know the reason. Like, why do I hate on this person? Doesn't really matter. What do you think of this? And if you want to see more of these videos, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.